Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be back.
I wanted you back because you have a new project that you just opened up
Yes.
at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell everyone about it?
When I first came here in 2008, which has been a long time, I was with Los Cabos Children's Foundation, and one of our dreams was to have a CRIT, which is a rehabilitation center that Teleton does, the biggest foundation in Mexico. And these rehabilitation centers are the best in the world. There's 27 of them in Mexico. And one of the biggest issues when I came here in 2008, which is still an issue now, is there's no specialty medical treatment for children. So everything's in La Paz. And we wanted to change that for Los Cabos. Obviously, we have an incredible destination and people love being here. And the people that make us love being here should have the basic services that an area like this requires. And we want to make sure that we make this a great place for everyone. And so this CRIT is a huge step in that direction. And we just inaugurated it on November 23rd. It's going to start operations first week of February. They'll have the first children coming through the doors. And so children with physical disabilities are now not going to have to go up to La Paz. They can get treatment here. And again, it's the best in the world treatment. There's the Teleton is well known to have the best equipment. And I know you haven't seen the facility yet, but we'll get you out there to see it and you'll be blown away. It's incredible.
So I've been to the one in La Paz.
Okay. Yep.
How many years ago was that facility?
La Paz was inaugurated in 2010. And I believe it was number 14. So since then, they've built a few other CRITs around Mexico, and La Paz changed Baja California Sur health in a big way. And we actually tried to get that CRIT in Los Cabos at that time, and it ended up being in La Paz for a lot of reasons. But I think that God works in mysterious ways, and that the timing is more perfect to have this one here now. So
What did it take to get another CRIT in Baja California Sur when one already existed in La Paz?
yeah. So that's a huge, it was a huge undertaking because first of all, we had to get someone privately to put up kind of the angel gift, which is the first gift towards the amount of money that we would need to get this done. And the second big hurdle was to convince Teleton to do it. So they've never done a 100% privately funded facility. They usually get some subsidies from the government,
Right.
from the state governments, and they've never done a 2 in one state. Now they do have 2 in Mexico City, but that's because there's 27 million people there. So, but there's never been 2 in the same state in Mexico, and so as soon as we had the angel gift, which happened on, I remember the date, December 24th, 2021. And the person said to me that they would do half of the facility. That's when we started to talk with Teleton, and it took about another probably 6 months for Teleton to say, yes, go for it. And then we started fundraising from there. And so we ultimately, the project cost about $14.5 million.
Wow.
The angel gift was between $4 and $6 million. We're still working that out, but that first just pledge of that amount of money was able to get us off the ground. But we've got $14.5 million so that we've raised, which is building the CRIT and then 5 years of operation, which I think is an important part. Is it's easy to fund the building, easier, I should say, but the actual ongoing operations, and I think that's very smart what Teleton does, is and now any other project that we do, we're fundraising to build it, and also we want to include like 5 years of operations.
So the plan is to keep doing this on your part?
To keep doing what? Say that again.
More CRITs, or is that?
No, the CRIT is done.
Yeah.
Now we have land. Now this was donated by the owners of Frondoso, which is one of the developers at Chileno Bay, and they've done other things in town. They're a big landscaping company as well, so they donated the lands. It's right downtown San Jose. It's an incredible location. And the idea is to do a children's medical campus. So we are looking to do
Wow.
a autism center next. That Teleton is also the best in the world at autism, and we would put an autism center right next to the CRIT. And then we're looking at doing maybe some other specialties within that. There's about 2.5 hectares of land that he's donating that we can develop into some other children's specialties. Right now, we're working on a blood bank, which probably many of your listeners don't know, that there's no official community blood bank in Los Cabos, which is incredible when you think about everything that's here. So we're trying to solve that right now. That's for everyone. That's for all of us. That's for all our employees. And so we would probably have in the future a blood bank there. We're actually, the blood bank that we're working on right now is in Plaza Nova, and we're going to make it a community blood bank with a blood mobile that goes to all the resorts. And we're already halfway, 800,000 into a $1.5 million raise, which would be buying the blood mobile, getting the extra equipment that we need, and 5 years of operation. So we're right now in the middle of that, and so that would be something, an element that would probably go on that campus as well. We're looking at maybe Shriners, a burn kind of unit, some other specialty medical services. And then the very exciting part too is we are working on animals. So the idea is to put a ranch there and take some of these, the street dogs, and turn them into service animals for the children with disabilities and for the kids with autism. We just launched a project we have a mobile spay and neuter clinic now that's going out into the barrios with Pet Los Cabos, and we're working with them too on this ranch. And we also have equine therapy there. So it's really cool because you're taking animals that have either they've gotten too old or the owners have abandoned them, and we're going to turn them into something good for the community and the children. So it's actually, we're developing something that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
That's incredible. That's exciting. Well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it. So the facility itself,
Yes.
how big is it? How many people will it employ? How many people can it service?
So I know the answer to the last question.
All right.
I think the employment, there's probably about 50 people that it's going to employ right now. And then when we build the other things, there'll be a lot more people. I'm not 100% sure of that number, but I think it's close. Then there are 500 families it's going to service. So that's a lot of families at the beginning. So that's for 1 year. And then as we move on, we may open that's just with one turn. So there may be a second afternoon turn.
Right.
If we fundraise enough, then you could double that. So you get to 1,000 families. There's definitely a need here. There's lots of people with disabilities that are not getting treatment. And so, but as we go on, we'll keep bringing in more people. Now, the other cool thing about it is that that's freeing up about 500 spaces in La Paz. So the people that are now going from here to La Paz, all those spaces there's a waiting list in La Paz. All of a sudden, a lot more people in Baja California Sur are going to get treatment, and it's opening up the East Cape and some other areas that has not really been serviced with this kind of service. And your first question, I answered how many people, how big is it?
Yeah, how big of a facility?
It's on a hectare, just over a hectare of land. That's including the parking lot. So I don't have the exact square meters, or square feet, but it's big.
Is it as big as the property in La Paz?
It's not as big as the CRIT in La Paz. I can give you a little dimension. The CRIT in La Paz is shaped like a starfish, and each CRIT actually has its own Zordo Magdalena is the architect, so he is the one that also did the new shopping center and
Las Animas, yeah.
yes, yep, and Salaz and some other areas here. But he's one of the most famous architects in Mexico, and he designs all the creeks and he makes them whatever the area is. So in La Paz, it's right by the ocean, so it's a starfish. Here, it's called the Flor de Esperanza, so it's the flower of hope,
Hmm.
and it's a desert flower. So
Right.
it's a very beautiful thing. But this Crete is a little bit smaller than a normal Crete. It's because we're using some of the services from La Paz, we're keeping the operational costs a little bit lower. However, what's really cool about it is even though it's smaller in some aspects, the actual physical rehabilitation area is bigger than La Paz.
Yeah.
So that part of it, we actually be bigger, but you don't have to have as much of an administration here. We're doing a lot of telemedicine here,
Awesome.
so it's cool. It's really been a well thought out.
And so for people that don't like our American Canadian clients that are here only part of the year and the only facility was in La Paz, what kind of services do they provide for children?
So it's all physical rehabilitation for different things. So if someone's been in an accident, if they were born with a physical deformity, um, cerebral palsy, if there's like even Down syndrome, some of the motor skills, if someone doesn't have them, the CREAT really helps in all of those aspects. There's even some speech therapy and some other therapies that are offered in the CREAT. A lot of for children with autism as well. The CREAT has some specialties for that, and and that's why we're really looking for it. Autism is a huge issue here, and there's not enough. There is Red Autismo that does an incredible job, but they have a huge wait list, and so to get a telethon autism center here would be incredible because autism kids, you can treat them, but it's hard to treat them with other children because sometimes the distraction or the noises and are very hard for kids with autism. And so you need some specialty time for them. So even though the CREAT will have the equipment, sometimes we need another time that they could come. And so we'd rather have our own center
Yeah.
here. So.
Yeah. What impact has the facility in La Paz had here in Baja California Sur, and what do you hope that now having one in Los Cabos will have?
The coolest thing is first of all, telethon and the way they do things. Again, it's best in the world, and a lot of people don't associate Mexico with the best in the world's medical treatment. Although some of the private hospitals in Mexico are some of the best in the world. So now the social system probably has something to be desired. Now there's some really good doctors in that, but some of the regular people are not getting incredible treatment. The incredible thing about telethon is it is the best in the world and it's for everyone. So it's not just for private paying people. It's
Mhm.
it's actually for people that don't have a lot of means at all. It's a foundation that's giving this service to everyone. Um, so sorry, I
No,
get
the
so
impact
excited.
that the
The
facility,
impact. So the
yeah,
impact. The impact is there's several layers to it. One is, first of all, Mexicans all know what telethon is. So Fernando Landeros, the guy that runs telethon, it's like I don't know if you remember the what's the telethon that we used to have
Jerry
in
Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. Thank
Yeah,
you. I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
think of the word. Jerry Lewis telethon. So Fernando Landeros, it's like the Jerry Lewis of
Uh-huh.
Mexico. And now Jerry Lewis was doing fundraising for multiple dystrophy, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so he was doing it for research. Telethon does the same kind of thing. They have a telethon every year for like 24 hours, and Televisa does it, and they raise money to build these facilities. That's part of it. Now, so the Mexicans, when they heard that a telethon was coming here, when it came to La Paz, it was huge for the area. It just brought up the level of medical care incredibly. And it just brought a lot of knowledge from a lot of people that there was that issue here. And so now there's just been a lot. I mean, we've been the last 4 years, we've been on Teleton, giving in checks, giving money, and it's just brought a lot of understanding from all of Mexico what's
Right.
happening in Los Cabos.
Yeah.
So, and it's also what's really cool about it is you bring in the gringo community, the Canadian community, and then seeing, wow, this is incredible treatment. Anybody I take to a CRIT, they come away and they say, I've never seen anything like this in the United States. Any doctor I've ever taken, they all say the same thing. And it's not about the equipment. The equipment, it's the best in the world, and we have that in the United States as well. But it's about the Mexican culture and how in the Mexican culture, it's much more about taking care of the whole family.
Mhm.
And that's why I think a lot of us live here,
Yeah.
because that's what I love. Where I live. I live in Ventanas, right up the hill here, and it's very Mexican. It's just everyone takes care of each other. The neighbors talk to each other. It's this, style of living that I think it's what attracts us all here.
Mhm.
And you see that the way Telethon takes care of the children and the whole family. So it's very integrated. The children go there to get their physical rehabilitation, but the family is also going there and they're getting a lot out of it. They're learning how to do that with their children. So when they go home, they can continue the treatment, but their needs are also being taken care of through different services that Telethon gives to the whole family. So it's really integrative. And when I take U.S. doctors to see this, they're like, "What is this?" We have a donor from Chileno Bay who has a child with cerebral palsy, and she has said several times, she helped us raise a lot of money for this project. She said several times that if she could take her son to a CREAT instead of what she had in the United States, and she had access to any place in the United States, she would choose the CREAT every time. And so that was a very powerful statement and really helped us endorsement that really helped us raise a lot of money for this. So it's 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 exciting in Mexico. So when you get back to what has been really what has happened because we have a CREAT in La Paz and now we have one in Los Cabos is the US community and the Canadian community also see how easy it is to help and how fast when you give money here, something happens.
Results.
And
Positive
you see
results. Right.
the positive result, and it's incredibly exciting and it's motivating and it makes you want to do more. And we say this all the time. Los Cabos is a small place, and
But big reach.
but big reach, and we have such level of wealth here. We can actually do
Right.
something about it, and we are doing something
Right.
about it, and you can see it right away. So
Well, I like what you're saying because I never thought about this, but the community aspect. Here's a medical facility that's serving the youth, right? The future. But that when the families get integrated, the local community, it brings awareness, both domestic and international awareness. It creates already a strong community, makes it even stronger.
and it's really cool
So
too because
that's
this
awesome.
project, when I first came here with El Dorado and Chileno Bay, I was at Los Cabos Children's Foundation in 2008, but I came back in 2019 to start the Chileno Bay and El Dorado Foundation. Mark Human, who is the president of Discovery Mexico, and he's the chair of our board, he just said to me, Korey, this can't just be about El Dorado and Chileno Bay. This is about the whole community. And since then, what's happened is we've created what's called the Los Cabos Community Alliance, and that alliance has helped us. It is Los Cabos Children's Foundation, which is a huge part of it. Now the Heart and Soul Foundation, which is Cabo do Sol.
Mm.
Cadencia now has a foundation. Maravilla now has the Twin Dolphin has a foundation, and all of these foundations come together. Letty Copel has been involved with us, the Questro Foundation, and we have been meeting monthly now, and we're talking about what are the needs
Mm.
and how does everybody work together. So instead of being in competition, the foundation being in competition with donors, this place has so many people that they just need to know what to do or what to give to, that all of us just need to work together, and that's what we've been doing, and I don't think that exists in a lot of other places. So Cabo, not only are all the foundations working together, but you have the Americans, the Canadians, and the Mexicans working together. You have the government, you have foundations and businesses working together. You've been involved,
Mhm,
and Ronival's been involved with
mhm,
us with the Teleton bus
mhm.
that
The
sends
La
the
Paz.
kids up to La Paz for their specialty medical treatment. So, you're an example of a business that has gotten involved with us, and you've been involved since I was here in 2008. You've been involved with helping the local community. So, first of all, thank you for that, and second of all, it's just it gives people really a lot of excitement to get more involved.
Mhm. So if a family has a child in need of medical care, specialty medical care, what is a normal kind of situation? Do they reach out to the lobby, the front desk? I mean, is it a internet website inquiry? How does someone get in touch and see if this can help them out?
Yeah. So if it's a child that has a disability and they want to go to the CRET, the CRET has there's a, just go to the website Teleton. I think it's teleton.org. I should know that, but it's tele. You'll find it on the website, and they will have a way to contact and to start the process for the child to either. There's a lot of needs. So sometimes you get put on a wait list. Sometimes maybe it's something that right away they get in. It just depends on what the situation is. Um, so from a disability, a physical disability or autism or Down syndrome, um, the telethon is definitely the place to start.
Right.
And if maybe they're put on the wait list, but at least they're on a list to start. In general, if you're saying if a child needs specialty medical care, right now in Los Cabos, the challenge is that the equipment and the doctors are mostly in La Paz. Now, there's pediatricians here, but there's not the specialists that are heart specialists or liver specialists or so many different kind of specialties and the equipment. So there's been many stories where even someone being on vacation, and there's one story of actually a friend of mine, a 6 month had a got a nut stuck in their throat. They were still breathing, but obviously it was not good. And they went to one of the hospitals here, and they did not have the equipment to get that out, so they actually had to fly to San Diego. They had to get the child out of Cabo,
Uh-huh.
which is just insane when you
It
think
is.
about it. And there's other stories where, um, well, that's a blood bank thing, but even the cruise ships that come here, someone needs blood, and they get off the cruise ship, and they go to a hospital, and there's no blood. And they actually have to get the blood someone to give blood from the cruise ship. They have to call people from the cruise ship if anybody can give blood so that the person can get help. So saying that, I mean, that's not a child with a special need, but in general, Los Cabos, we have to do better and just get basic services here. We should have blood. We should have, if there's equipment needed for children,
Mhm.
I mean, that should be a no-brainer. And and I think we're headed in that direction. Now, if a child, for example, has cancer, before in 2008, when I first came here with Los Cabos Children's Foundation, we did not have cancer treatment for children here in Baja California Sur. It was in the United States, and that's how Los Cabos Children's Foundation started. Is Tom Walsh, the founder, he wanted to start helping children with cancer in Los Cabos. So he was sending them to South Dakota, where he's from,
Mm.
to a hospital there. We also worked with the Mayo Clinic, and so we would send the children there, or they would go to Culiacan. So that was the closest place you can have medical treatment.
Mhm.
It's someone with cancer. Now there is specialty cancer care in La Paz, and hopefully, sometime in the future it'll be in Los Cabos. But that is something that has happened, that at least the children, they don't have to fly. I mean, having cancer for a family, it's horrible to have a child with cancer, to have to go
Right.
to another state or I mean,
Country.
it's horror country. It's horrible. So at least now it's to La Paz, and the buses also they take
They
the
take
cancer
yeah.
kids. Yep, that was during COVID. It was very interesting because uh, when 2020 in March we got the bus in March 2020. Um, it was the timing was perfect because when COVID started, the cancer kids that needed to they couldn't stop getting their treatment.
That's right.
The buses saved our life because they could still go in the buses. The whole time that COVID was happening, the buses were taking the kids up to La Paz to get their chemotherapy or their other therapies that they needed for kids with cancer. So anyway, I get so excited I start to just talk.
No,
I don't
it's
know if
great.
I don't know if I'm
You
answering your question.
no, but you were saying February, so next month they're
In
gonna
February, February, first Monday of February, I think it's February 2nd. I'm not 100% sure. It could be February 3rd. They will start treating the children. Right now, they've just hired all the people, and they are they're doing training, and they're still hiring a few of the other folks and by the first week of February, they're going to start seeing the children. The interesting thing is that the place first of all, I invite everyone that's listening to this to come see it. So please contact me. Contact you.
yeah, yeah.
You can have them contact me, and we'll have you go look at it because you'll be blown away by the facility. But also to know that it was built in 7 months.
Yeah, that's
So that's
incredible.
it's like incredible because nothing here gets built that fast. But it was built in 7 months, and the equipment took another month to come in and be set up. And so even though we inaugurated in November, obviously they were still finishing a lot of things to have it up and running. And I think it's incredible that in February there are going to be people getting treatment there.
Is this similar, the CREET, to like the Ronald McDonald Children's Hospitals, like back in the States?
So the Ronald McDonald houses
Yeah.
they're more of where people come and stay. They're next to hospitals.
Okay.
So they're like places that if someone needs to come to, we actually have one in La Paz that when someone has to come there for cancer treatment and they need to stay for like a week,
Mhm.
there's a house they can stay at
Got
in
it.
La Paz. And so Ronald McDonald houses are like that. They're places that families can come and stay while their child is getting treatment and they
Right.
don't have to go back home.
Right. Nothing like that exists in Cabo.
No, we do not have that, but that's also part of something that would go on the campus
Right.
in the
That's
future.
incredible. Incredible. Any stories that stick out in your mind with the CREET in La Paz that you could tell us?
There's many, many stories of people that have just are so excited. Well, first of all, that there was a CREET in La Paz, and now that there's a CREET here, I mean, it's going to change people's lives in amazing, amazing ways. Because imagine having to take a day and take the day off, take your child up to La Paz. You have to leave very early in the morning. You don't get back to that night. You can't work that day. If you have other children, you got to pay for someone to watch them.
Right.
Or if you have a husband or wife that's staying home with them, I mean, they're not working also. So all of a sudden, it's a big issue.
Mhm.
And to now, the children not having to go to La Paz, it's going to change. It's changing their lives in an incredible way. And not only that, when they go to La Paz, they were probably going once a month. Now they can go 3 times a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And the ability to have more treatment is going to make you get better so much faster.
Yeah.
And so it's unbelievable. It's hard to even quantify, like we were just talking about that, but it just makes your heart feel full and full of love, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing that's happened.
Well, it's like, we have one Costco in the state,
Yep.
right? And there's been talk like they're going to put another Costco, right? There's a CREET in La Paz, and in February, the Los Cabos CREET's going to open.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
going to be able to service just more people.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
people's lives are going to be much better. It's going to save a lot of time, a lot of good. And all the stuff the positivity that it had in La Paz, now bringing it down to Los Cabos. I mean, we have already so much international exposure, and I can see that this is just going to enhance it that much.
Well, and imagine having this children's this medical campus where, you're bringing in the animals, you're bringing in
Yeah.
just it's so much love. I call it a space of love that you're creating, and it just makes everyone feel good. And you can go there, you can volunteer, you can help, and just you can get involved. And there's not a lot of places in the world where you can do that and you can see the difference so quickly. But I really invite people to come out and see it. The best way to do it is to see it. I mean, we've talked before about Dorado, which is Patty's Community Center, which is like Chileno Bay in the middle of the barrio, and not a great area around, but it's this incredible school that has been built. But these things, people are seeing a difference made so fast, and there's what's almost 80 children there that their lives are completely different.
Yeah.
They're completely different, and who knows what they're going to bring to the world in the future. And then it causes other people. There's a new place very close to Patty's now that she just got the land, and she already has a school there, and we already have people that are ready to do another Patty's Community Center, and Twin Dolphin's very involved in that one. So it's very exciting what's happening. We don't know what the future. We have a good idea of this children's medical campus, but a lot of other things are going to happen because you just don't know. You have to just be open to it. And
No, that's incredible. Well, Korey, thank you. Thanks for
thank
telling us
you.
about the CRIT, and I'm really excited for next month it to open its doors, and you owe me a tour.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
It's
Whenever you want
funny
to.
because 7 months ago or 9 months ago, I remember you invited me
Yes.
at the beginning of last year for
Yeah.
the first shovel.
We had the first shovel. That was in July of 2024, actually.
Oh, July 20, and then you invited me, like, we're having the grand opening. I think on both occasions I was out of town.
You are. But it's good because the right time will happen, and we'll get you over there and you're going to see it. So
Well, thanks for everything that you do.
No,
And
thank you.
you're a great spokesperson, a great advocate for all the foundations you've been involved in over the years, and a really important person to the community. So
no, well,
thank you for that.
Thank you for all you do, and I just love being here. So.
All right. Thank you. Okay, everyone. And until the next one, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronival Real Estate, and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronival. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronival.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.